All right, Tracy, thank you. I feel like I need to guard the pork chops because one of the two of them may be on their way in, right?
I know, like the whole studio
I know, it all smells so good.
Right,
of course, back in the kitchen now with Chef Amy.
Yes.
I want to talk about some of these classes though first,
yes.
because I think there's something to say. I haven't been yet and I want to go. It's on my to-do list.
Yes.
But I feel like that there's so much more than just learning a knife skill when it comes to that class.
It's socialization, and we're social distancing, but we get to like meet lifelong friends. I mean, everyone has a common bond. They're coming to learn how to cook, and everyone leaves friends.
Yeah.
And that's my favorite part about these public cooking classes.
Absolutely.
Is that
you meet your people.
You get to meet people, and it's it's an icebreaker. Like we kind of like start out with like just kind of seeing what everyone's level is, so I know who to watch and who I don't have to watch as much. But it's just so much fun, and it's a casual environment. It's not just me just talking. It's everyone interacting, and it's a very, very hands-on experience.
I
so
love
you take
that.
Home with you.
Well, let's get hands-on right now in the kitchen.
Let's get
what do we have?
All right, so this is our sweet and sour peppers with seared pork. So this has a lot of chopping to it. So I kind of wanted to show you different techniques. I mean, here we have the onion again, and we're just going to be slicing this for the dish. And then we're also going to be using peppers. Now, peppers are a little bit difficult because they're in kind of a weird shape.
Yeah.
So what I like to do is kind of cut off the tops and the bottoms. And again, you can add these to your stock if you'd like. And then I take my knife and I kind of turn this all around and get all the outside, or I'm sorry, the inside of the peppers. And then you always kind of want to go away from you and just shape it up. Okay. And then we're just going to do a nice julienne here. And all I'm doing is sliding my knife because my knife is so sharp. Yeah. Look at that. It's just sliding right through. So you don't have to,
which can be more dangerous, right? Than a really sharp
correct.
knife.
I mean, now I've got complete control. I've got my hand on the pepper so that I'm putting pressure on it. And again, the tip of the knife is not leaving the cutting board. It's just slicing right through.
Okay.
Again, obviously you have to have a sharp knife for that. You can't do that with your dull knife.
Yeah.
And having a dull knife in the kitchen is really, really dangerous because you're adding, you're putting more pressure onto it.
How often should you sharpen?
Again, it's just how often you use it. If you use it once a year, you don't have to sharpen it very much. But if you use it every single day,
very good point.
Obviously you need to do it. I mean, I like to just start out sharpening my knife. Give it a nice 5 minutes. You don't have to spend too much time on it.
Okay.
All right. So we're going to be chopping up these peppers and adding this into our saute. Now, this pan needs to be on a high heat. You don't want to steam the peppers and onions. You want to get them to have a nice caramelization to them. So right now we are just really sauteing these. And see, you get to learn all these technical words. I mean, I know saute is used a lot, but people don't understand sometimes what the difference between sauteing and sweating and all that. That's where you learn all the fundamentals again. All right, so while this is cooking, I'm going to take my pork chop here. This I got from Moody Meats yesterday at the butcher. Like, they were nice. They kept it open for me for a little bit till I raced over there in like 2 wheels.
Just for you, Amy.
I know, it was super sweet. Thank you. All right, so like when you sear pork chops and you have to do it at a high heat, sometimes the pork chop kind of tends to go up on the sides. So this is a really good cut that you can do. So you're almost like scoring the fat on here so that it lays flat down. And as you can see when it's cooked, you can kind of see where that lays flat there.
I'm really interested in getting some advice from you when it comes to pork chops because I love pork chops, but I hate them because honestly, they can get dry really fast.
Yes.
And I just hate having a dry pork chop.
Yes. So, and then same thing with that, we'll show you about chicken and everything.
Well, it's tricky because you want to make sure it's done.
You're right. But a lot of people don't understand that you don't have to have pork to the same temperature as chicken. You can have it where it's a little bit pink inside, and that is completely acceptable. In fact, that's how I prefer it. And that's where you keep the moisture in. And searing it and patting it dry like what we're doing right now, I'm just really kind of pushing down all the herbs, like almost this being a rub for the pork chop. And then also just taking out any of the juices for the pork chop. So you want it nice and dry so that when it hits into the pan, you're good to go.
All right, 30 seconds, Miss Amy. What else do we need to know?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so then we're adding our white wine vinegar. We're going to saute it in there. We're going to have our sugar.
Oh, a little bit of sugar.
A little bit of sugar, and then you just do some garlic cloves. Boom, boom, boom.
Love garlic. What does the sugar do? Just, I mean, gives
it's
it
just
going to
help it caramelization, just like you would do caramelized onions.
Okay.
All right, so we have seared our pork chop. Now we're just going to cut it against the grain. All right, so you can see the grain here. You're just going to cut it against the grain, and then you're going to add it to your...
And there you go.
And there you go.
Bada bing,
You
bada
can have like
boom.
little individual
And it's so cute. I just love those little pans. Amy, thank you
You're
as
welcome.
always.
You're welcome.
catering.com.
Yes.